Today's the day. Today's the day. Today's the day. Such losers.
I'll probably have to get there by, I'll get there by 6:30.
It does. They have a lot of pastries.
Do they?
So good.
Lychee?
They're so like, they're flavors that I've like never encountered before.
I didn't want one to make it.
Oh, they all look so good. Oh my god, don't come this way. Guys, I'm getting married today. Just still feels so unreal. But let's go ahead and do this.
At first I said that I love you and you ain't say that shit back. It's kinda hard to just trust you when both your feelings don't match. Got me showing less emotions, I don't wanna get attached. Once I give you my word, I swear it ain't no going back. Once I give you my heart, you better keep that shit intact. Instead of assuming no words, girl, I'm just here stating facts. You want me to take you back, I want you to take me back. You want me to take you back, I want you to take me back. So tell me, is you gon' ride out when the chips fall? I seen too many people leave when it get hard. I'm tired of going back and forth when we pissed off. Most of my friends done went through it and they stood tall. See, they gon' try and tell you what they think is good for you. Whole time they was plotting, man, I wish they was for you. You gotta watch your back, your front, your side, they disloyal. I gotta watch my crown, cause from birth I've been royal. And that's from the source. Yeah. Individuals. What happen when y'all both reach the pinnacle? Things start to get physical. What make it worse, the motherfucker live with you, talking what you didn't do and what they did for you. You just praying for a miracle, cause they been with you through the good and the bad times, made it pivotal. All them feelings that you hold inside, it will hinder you, so let it go. What you didn't do and what they did for you. You just praying for a miracle, cause they been with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present you with great happiness, Tommy and Crystal, husband and wife.
Congratulations. She's married.
우리 신하신분이 우리 어머니 한번 살짝 쳐다봐주세요. 우리 엄청 시끄러워. 아닌가? 저 카메라 봐주세요. 저 카메라.
you enjoyed my micro recap of my micro wedding that took place in Hawaii. Now I just wanted to share some tips about having a destination wedding in Hawaii specifically. Of course, my humble opinion, but I definitely wanted to just share my experience just because I wish that I had someone who told me all these things before I spent all this money and planned for it. Take all of this with a grain of salt, but it's just my experience, so let's go. So I'm gonna have my phone with me right here because I wrote down everything in order. But I had a lot of concerns on the day of my wedding because it honestly wasn't like 100% exactly what I had hoped for. But I would say if I had to do it again, I would still choose Hawaii as my destination wedding because of one thing: views. Priceless. Any wedding venue that you may come across in Hawaii, and I'm speaking for outdoor specifically, which is my next point, but it was so beautiful. Like, the videos and the photos honestly don't capture the extent of the beauty. It was so pretty and just no filter needed, no Photoshop needed. I mean, my photographer sent me a bunch of raw photos, and honestly, I just posted them and shared them on my Instagram page because no filter needed, like truly no filter needed. So when we first started doing research for all the wedding venues, there were some outdoor venues as well as indoor venues. If you're going all the way to Hawaii, obviously, like, I don't live in Hawaii. If you're going all the way to Hawaii, why are you stuck inside? Have an outdoor wedding. I think what stops a lot of people from having outdoor weddings is the weather, the unpredictable conditions, right? And granted, it rained on my wedding day as well, but after the wedding, so it doesn't count. I just recommend choosing very wisely. Research the dates of the month. According to my wedding planner, October was the best month that she recommends to have an outdoor wedding, and it worked out for us. Next, I would say research all your options, whether it's a DIY wedding or having a wedding planner. And honestly, having a DIY wedding is doable because at the end of the day, you're paying for the food, the venue, and all the rental items separately in addition to the wedding planner. So I did hire a wedding planner for my wedding. One thing I do wish I would have done instead of hiring her for the whole year, I think it would have been better to hire her like the day of. So the day of coordinator. And it also depends on the venue that you choose. For Kualoa Ranch, where we got married, they required a wedding planner or a coordinator to be there. I don't know why. And also, if you're like a huge planner and like a control freak like I am, I did all my research before I even hired this person, like on my own. So I think I went in with the agreement with her with all my options already, but technically that's her job. Like, that's why we're paying her, right? So she needs to do all the research and give me the options, but I kind of did my own research. Like, I knew exactly the menu that I wanted. I had the exact cake that I wanted already. If you're someone that's like, I don't want to worry about a single thing on my big day, I just want to focus on myself and my wedding, and that's fine, then go ahead and hire a wedding planner. I think especially, it depends on the venues. If you get married at like a resort or a hotel, it's a lot easier to coordinate things and it's a lot more structured. For me, because I got married at Kualoa Ranch, which was literally an open outdoor space with nothing, I had to rent everything, right? You're literally building everything from scratch. Even the food, like, they're coming all the way to the venue, right? Oh, my hair. Even the food, like, they had to come all the way to the venue, and like, what are you gonna do? The food's gonna get cold, right? So you need a portable oven, which you have to pay for. Same with the cake, like, you have to pick it up, and like, there's a lot of things that you have to coordinate. What are you gonna do when it gets dark for the reception? Because it's not an indoor space. You need lights. So you have to rent all of those. You need an AV system because if you wanna have like a mic, if you're gonna do a dance, if you need music, like, you need all of those things. So I would say that having an outdoor wedding at like a very open venue like I did was a lot more complex to arrange. I will say though, the perk of having some kind of wedding coordinator or wedding planner is that, you know, the order of the wedding will be very structured because they've done this many times. They know how it works. So if you want like a clean flow, I would recommend them. And also, because they work with a lot of vendors directly, like almost every weekend, right? Like there's a wedding every weekend, you will get like a better rate somehow. Like for example, our cake, we ordered cake and they did not open on Monday. Our wedding was on a Monday, but they don't typically open on a Monday. So whereas they said that they can't open for us, they opened it for our planner because of that relationship. And also with our food vendor, they kind of worked out some kind of deal to cover for the vendor meals instead of us having to pay for it. So I think that's kind of nice to have that connection. You could kind of navigate things a little more smooth if you have someone. Another thing for rental items, oh my God, literally we had to rent so many things, but our wedding was not even that complex because it was so small. We didn't even have to rent so many things, and I think I was very naive to think that a lot of these came included with the venue, but they don't. Like, you're starting everything from scratch, right? So you have all these options to rent, but because of COVID, they jacked up their prices like big time compared to 2020 and 2021. For our food vendor, per person, the price went up like $40 in 6 months. But that's, you know, beyond our control. I would just keep that in mind for when you're choosing food vendors. And also for rental items, they now have like a minimum. Almost all of the companies do have a minimum, and the minimum ain't cheap. So you kind of have to figure out all these things to rent, like random crap and items to choose when you don't really need it. So we brought like silk flower decorations from home. We brought candles, like candle stands, cake toppers, like things like that that you can bring. It's so much more affordable to buy on Amazon or just like in store here than dealing with it all the way over there or paying like triple the price to rent it. So we brought some items and I think that was a great choice, honestly. But you know, like the big things like the AV system, the lights, and tablecloths that need to be pressed, those we did just rent because I'm not carrying that around or doing anything like that. So our wedding was pretty micro, but I think DIY weddings, there's so many options to be able to do it at a very affordable price point. So many options in Hawaii. And if you really wanted to, you can make it happen. I also noticed that the photographers and the videographers are so much more affordable. I don't know about other states and other package rates, but compared to the rates that I'm familiar with here in Texas, it was definitely more affordable. I'm talking like $3,000-4,000 versus below $1,000. There's also a lot of different packages in Hawaii for weddings, which kind of gives you a limitation when it comes to certain things. Like for example, hair and makeup for the bride and groom was included in the package that we chose, but I didn't get a chance to do a trial with her or see how she's like, right? Like I kind of don't have the option. And I feel like hair and makeup is so important for pictures and I gotta feel beautiful, you know? It's like a one day I actually need to look good. But the uncertainty is very difficult. But luckily, my lady was great. She was awesome. She went with the completely natural makeup that, you know, I typically do, and it was fine. So it worked out for me, but I hear a lot of cases where that's not true. I would just recommend really doing your research and even negotiating with your wedding planner or coordinator if one of the vendors, it's not something that you want, you know, whether it's the food option or the cake option or hair and makeup. For us, floral decorations to a certain extent were also included. I was not a fan, but it is what it is. It worked out at the end of the day. It's fine, but I definitely had some limitations because it was a package deal. Whereas if I got to literally hand pick every single service and vendor, it would have been a better opportunity, but also I'm pretty sure that my budget would have been. so those are some of my advices from having a destination wedding in Hawaii. It was a dream and it was lovely. I would do it all over again, but I also have areas that I would do differently. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And again, I hope you take this with a grain of salt. If you have any questions about my destination wedding experience, please comment down below and just let me know. I am happy to share all the resources that I have, like even breaking it down to price points and how much I paid for things. So just comment down below and let me know. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!